Starcraft 2 co-op guide. In this video, we're going to be going through how to play one of the 3 starting co-op commanders, but on a more challenging mode, Arkship Commandant. If you like this content, watch the previous videos. Do like and subscribe, and not for me for the Zealot. Walk, walk, walk. All right. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be playing. I'm going to be giving you a guide on how to play Artanis, focused on the Arkship Commandant. Now, this is actually a very different. It's actually a very different style of. Well, it's a different style of playing Artanis. It's the last one. It's also interesting because what they do in this mode is that the orbital strikes. I'll just read the description. Right, orbital strikes warp in an Unbound Fanatics that throws off damage every last 15 seconds. The overcharge is now targeted. Now, the disadvantage that orbital strike plus energy and guardian shell is enabled, which is a big deal. So what guardian shell is that it's the upgrade that upon taking fatal damage, it basically gives you a second life. It gives you that guardian shell that is really helpful for survivability. Yeah, you lose that. So how exactly do I recommend you play this build? Well, let's get into the game. Now, the reason I do this, guys, is because I used to play a fair amount of 1v1, and I always thought to myself, what are some of the kinds of things that you can apply from there in terms of the timings, in terms of the builds that could help you out, especially when you're playing the mutation or you're playing on Brutal Plus, because being able to get into it really is a big deal. By the way, the build that we'll be going for is going to be a Zealot Dragoon into Tempest, which is one of his stronger builds. I will be doing additional videos such as High Templars, Reavers, as well as a pure Tempest build, but we're not going to be doing that right now. Okay, let's jump into game. Let's see what we got. Okay, so hey, Dahaka. Okay, this is actually going to be really easy. Dahaka is one of the strongest commanders, and I've done a bunch of videos. In fact, I'm planning to do another Dahaka video based on Stormhost. Load in. I'll also be making some distinctions along the way, because there is a significant, in the case of Artanis, there is a major difference when you're playing when he's max prestige, no, not max prestige, max level at level 15 versus before that, because when he's level 15 you don't have to build pylons because he gets 200 supply right off the bat. That is not the case if you're still leveling him up, which created a lot of issues in some of the mutations I was playing on when I was leveling Artie Boy here up, I call him. And we are in.
Where are the minerals? I was told there would be minerals. Mine more minerals.
Reporting in with a sit rep, commanders.
Right, so
forces are summoning void shards all across the city.
Now here's the important thing. If you're playing if you're playing your way up and you still have to build pylons, what you should do is you should throw a pylon here and start like walling off and building a gateway. Now we can afford to do that. We
What
can
you like
skip
in
that
minerals? You make
because
a
our
point,
prestige
Jar.
allows us to skip that
You're
entirely.
flat broke, mate. Get some more minerals.
Alright, we'll just build this up.
Mine more minerals. Quickly now.
By the way, yep.
I live.
I can't type. Alright, so what I'd like to do when this is done, by the way, is I'd like to put a probe in it and start putting
Our
more.
allies are getting
Now,
into
since we're
trouble
going for a
again.
gateway build, what I'd like to do is that I would like to throw down another gateway. Again, if I was playing on a proper, like still leveling him up, I would throw a pylon here and I would build a gateway. So the reason that you always want to build a wall. In this particular case of Artanis, you don't need to do
Our
that,
allies look like they could use a hand.
because honestly, you could just use the protection field that comes with this off. So what we're doing here is that we're not getting our gases straight away,
Templar,
but rather we're going to do it a bit more staggered, so we have a bit more minerals. We should be able to take this a bit faster. Right, enemies are on their way, no big deal. The hacker will be fine. The hacker's over there. Rather, they should be out doing stuff. Let's see what the enemy attack is. Now this should finish, this should finish, this
Void
should have
charge been
two.
reported outside of your
I want my
landing point, so
Dragoon.
that's your first objective. Best of luck out
The
there.
Haka's already busy out there fighting. Let's go join him. There, you should be able to warp in exactly these guys. Now the Dragoon shortly and push the position. Get more gas. Now, because we have a Dahaka, we're going to back him up. Okay, because here's the thing. Okay, this is Dahaka specific. Is that if you do have an allied Dahaka, help him fight because it actually really helps his ability to gather essence. Okay, so we start off with a small strike force. I think Dahaka should be digesting his food. If not, he should be digesting his food. If not, he should be going out here and eating stuff. But not our place to say. Now, as for the Unbound Fanatics, we'll get to them. I don't want to call them in now for a very, very specific reason. And again, we still have energy to deal with. By the way, this is actually right. That's settled.
Good work.
Now,
Just
while
gotta
that's
do the
happening,
same
I
to the
can
rest
throw
of them.
down a Stargate
Scanners are
and
picking
go
up multiple void shards. Our mission
some more
is
units.
to obliterate them.
Our allies look like they could use a hand.
Again, this is a more measured approach. In fact, once we take this down, we'll go back up the Haka and start pushing at the front. I would not recommend getting the upgrade, and in fact, I would recommend at this point, once you know you're attacking to Tempest, you kind of
Your allies
cut your
are having all the
gas.
fun.
Let's get one of these.
The
Perfect. Come, let's go.
near. Kill.
So here's the thing about, okay, first of all, Dahaka's really, really strong. So Dahaka's almost going to be pushing on his own. Dahaka's, right? Right, is that we do something very, very different, which is that normally you don't want to fight near an entrenched position because why would you? But this time we are because unleash the Unbound Fanatics. Go, 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 go. So the thing about these guys, like, they are unbelievably strong by a dude. But they expire real quick. Okay, they're gone. Okay, we're out of here. We're out of here. Dahaka, run away. Run away. No, 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 no. Leave. Good Dahaka. Good Dahaka. Good Dahaka. Yeah, I'm a bit lazy to bike. I'm just gonna throw this pylon here. Okay, okay, we're getting out of here. We are absolutely getting out of here. Oh, right. This thing is done. My bad. My build's a bit off. By the way, if you're actually doing this, okay, let's go and clear this. You actually want to get your gas roughly around the 3/4 mark. I'm going to be a bit late because there's no point getting your gas right away
Your
because
ally
the
is being
gas
attacked.
geyser, the assimilator, takes a longer period of time to get than the others. Oh, and the other thing you should do is that you should also throw down a pylon here. The reason is that in later games I've made a lot of mistakes where I warp out my projection field and then all
Our
these
allies are
powers
getting
become
into trouble
depowered.
again.
Yep, you can just keep warming up because once this is done, it's done. You can send them over. Grab 3, send them here. Send them here. Where are our forces? There they are.
We face cloaked enemies.
Dahaka should have cloak.
Beware.
Okay, put this on a separate hotkey. We already have 3 Tempest there. Focus. Once you have enough minerals, just focus on the gas because that's really, really what matters. Okay, he did have detection, but he has power up. That's fine by us.
Go.
Ah,
Enemies
perfect.
provoke us. We will answer.
So likewise, enemy attack wave. Get ready. Get ready. There they are. Unleash the Fanatics. And here's the thing: these guys are not going to be here for long. The Unbound Fanatics sounds like a bad, doesn't it? So it's better to have them there and just let them fight. I try not to even bother microing
One
them
fewer void shard for us
because
to
them
deal
just
with.
moving about is honestly inefficient.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Field
done.
is
We just
blowing
get
up
these
with these
upgrades.
void
Always
shards.
remember to get this
We need
upgrade,
to
which
put
I'll be
them
very
down.
honest, I didn't get as quickly as I could. Alright, let's start pushing this way. Get a couple more Tempest.
You seek our aid.
Okay, this is ready. We have the Unbound Fanatics on standby. This is kind of why I was leaning towards saving my energy, by the way. Devouring one, okay. So you always want to call them in an entrenched position. you want to make sure that they have stuff to shoot, stuff to blast at, right? If you're going to shoot them out in the middle of the map, even against an enemy attack wave, if there's nothing here, there's no point. There really, really isn't a point.
Upgrade complete.
Okay, that's good, that's good. Now, I've tested this out.
Your ally is being
afford
attacked.
roughly 2 Stargate production.
That's another void shard down.
It is done.
You can
The
roughly afford 2
objective has
Stargate
fallen.
production, upgrades, as well as being able to do it. If you're a bit more try hard, you can get either... You can get a forge, but just for cannons. So this is once you're floating, you know more money than you know what to do with.
You seek our aid.
As the Tempests themselves are 200 gas a piece. Yep. You will run out of gas, especially if you're taking home to do other things. Because the thing about upgrades is that
Your
they are
allies
more
having all the
expensive
fun over there.
as time goes on. Ah,
Enemy hunts us.
that's always going small post. That's perfect. I want to do so in future. Swap in some zealots, back them up. Okay, this is a bit of a mistake. If I was able to catch him here, I would actually be able to push down to the bonus. Okay, Dahaka came back anyway. Yep, let's go for the bonus.
Pirate scum
Duke is
ransacks
down to
the
go for the
city at a
bonus
time
rather.
like this. I
think
know
we've
it's a
got 2 of
personal
these.
request,
For
but if you can,
Tempest.
please kill them all. They keep summoning shards, and we keep sending them back.
Okay, how's that? My upgrades are fine. If you have additional gas, you get the shield upgrade, although air weapons is honestly more important. Also, if you have money, throw down a Robo Bay. Just to get
Things are
the
almost back under
protection.
control. This is the last
I'll deal with
group of
that.
void
Oh
shards.
boy.
Let's take back our city.
What the?
These pirates
the heck
just
did these
don't learn,
Tempests-
do they? Commanders, it's time to
Oh
educate
right,
them.
these guys. That was really careless of me, I admit.
We serve by our own will. For honor.
Okay, now knowing Dahaka, he should be just releasing Locust Wave after Locust Wave. Here's the thing, I don't unleash the Unbound Fanatics. I kind of don't want to, because I prefer to unleash them against a entrenched position.
Our aid.
Oh man. Okay, retreat, retreat, retreat. These are Tempests, they have plenty of range. Got him.
Pirates in the skies above Core Hall? Not on my watch.
Oh hey Uncle Tash. Hey, thanks for the comment. Alright, so let's push forward. We are running a bit more gas. Let's hire more of these.
Seek our aid.
Let's go wait here a second. Let's get our observer. Ah,
Enemies
perfect.
gather. We must
We're gonna drop the fanatics on their head. Bomb smithereens. Then they'll push up. Yeah, so here's the thing. This is not like Raiders badges
You've
or
just
like a lot
upgraded
of
your
others. They
units.
need to be
Maybe keep
fighting. You
doing that.
need to give them a target and basically drop the fanatics on their head.
We stand with the first.
And it's not. And here's the thing. I do find that it's relatively
Upgrade's
balanced.
done.
Okay, pull these Tempests back. Use the dead space to our advantage. Alright, let's prepare another round of fanatics. How to play the Haka? I have videos on that, but you are doing fine right now. I mean, he should be sending, Swarm Host. He should be using his Swarm Host. Actually, better to be using the Swarm Host to break these positions and this position. But that's, oh, actually, we didn't need to ping. I thought, oh, right, right, the Haka bits are on YouTube. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Dodge him! Dodged him. Okay,
That's
excellent.
the thing about the Dominion.
Get some more.
Even in a crisis,
$10, I guess.
our rule of law holds
Get our
firm.
upgrades. Another one of these is nice. Let's send it over to Dahaka himself. No, let's send it over to the Swarm Host.
We overcome. It's our charge.
These guys should be sent to combat, but not an issue.
With the first. Consider it done.
Huh. Okay. Oh, I did actually change the
Against us. We
the
will
thing.
meet them
Ah,
head
man.
on.
Oh yeah, I was actually it's still on Stormgate because I was doing a Stormgate video earlier. I had plug. Alright, let's keep pushing. I still have all these. Alright, in fact I'll try it. Let's warp into
Your
power
allies'
field.
base is under attack. Get over insufficient Vespene gas.
And blast the smithereens, no big deal. We're actually out of gas, like we could warp in zealots, but they're nothing really more than a meat shield. Other reason I bought the forge is that you could actually build cannons. Not so much for additional shields, kind of meh. Anyway, this is probably going to be the final fight. Let's wrap this up.
As it was in the days
Who
of
would you like to broadcast? I can help. What do you mean? So the other big downside is that it's when you do the shield overcharge, it's now this big circle, and not just press the
That's
button.
what I like to
You
see.
actually have to aim it at
Forward
fire
charge,
before
terminated.
you use it.
Boldly done.
warriors.
Make sure you use the disintegration blast. Again, I will be doing another video in future about how exactly I will be doing another video in future on how exactly you do a straight to Tempest build. But
Upgrade
this one
complete.
again we started to get in case you needed a unit. It's a more measured approach. Oh no, no, Unbound Fanatics! Alright, and we're kind
It'll
of done
take
here.
more
We
than a
actually a
few
lot
more
of gas.
shards to
Oh,
defeat
pro
the
tip,
Dominion.
which I forgot. If
We
we have one of these.
evolve. We overcome.
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
I bet Amon didn't count on
Alright,
the
so
two
very
of you
good.
joining
Very good
the
to my
fray.
ally.
Way to make him
He
regret
asked
it.
if I have Dahaka videos. I do have Dahaka videos. In fact, I should link one of them at the end of the video. So yeah, so that's kind of it. Now, something to note about the Unbound Fanatics, and this is something that might want to put across, is that is it really worth it to prestige Artanis all the way? You know what? I'll be nice. I can do one more game. Okay, so the other thing about Artanis specifically is that this is the last prestige. Let's put it this way: it was not like this felt good, but Nexus Legate. I will be doing a separate video on that. Nexus Legate was not really as fun as I thought it would be. But I do find that the orbital strikes in Unbound Fanatics are very fair because they are really, really strong, but you have to use them. You have to hit a very specific position and a very specific timing. If you're just going to drop it onto an attack wave, and the attack wave dies and they stand around for the last few seconds before they evaporate, that's kind of bad. Oh, and a final closing point. The cool thing about the Unbound Fanatics is that there was literally nothing in the lore about them, and they basically came out with this. That's it. They actually did something really interesting, which was that if you read the actual, Protoss lore, which I've covered, they actually fit the description of the Archon of a unit of unbound psionic potential before they basically burn out and become nothingness. I don't know how they fit them in the Spear of Adun, but that's some lore. Fun facts. Alright, if you like this content, do like and subscribe. If not, for me, for the Zealot. Woo!